Hi guys, I'm Madeline Harvey. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We've got a doozy, a heavy video for you today, and that is keep singing even when or if they say you suck, or if that's what you're thinking on the inside of your head. So what I've planned for us today is five really great ways to stay engaged, to stay on course, especially if you're not getting that feedback from others that you really, really want. Because we're all at different places in our growth. Or maybe you just had a bad day. Because we all have that too. So it doesn't really matter if you're like a professional or you're just starting out or if you're kind of plateauing with your musical results. Like there's something in singing, just like being creative, that's almost like a spiritual warfare. It's like we gotta fight those parts of ourselves. We're so confronted by the scary parts of ourselves, the parts of ourselves that we don't like or we outright reject. So it's really, really hard to stay dedicated to the learning of the skill, and it's hard to stay oriented in a good place to kind of bear that daily burden, because it's drudgery. It's not like press a button and you've got the most fantastic voice you're ever gonna have. That's just not the case. So these 5 ways are going to be how we can bear that burden with some grace so we can stay in the game. Okay? Number 1, surround yourself with yay-sayers, not naysayers, especially if you have to create them in your own head. Okay? So let me explain. So it's kind of tragic that every single one of us, all of us, have a story of something that somebody said that could have just stopped our vocal exploration cold right there. If it was a parent, a grandparent, a friend, a teacher, an industry person, it doesn't matter. There was some point in our life where somebody said something that stopped our progress. Maybe it's something like, you don't have any skills, you don't have any talents, maybe you should just do this other thing and don't sing, whatever the case may be. So those are naysayers. We don't always have the mental wisdom to separate the salt from the sugar on feedback like that. Like we don't always know what's true, what's real, because that person that gave us that feedback may not know what's true or real. We might have had a really bad day, a really bad performance. But that's the only performance they're going to see. So that's when they tell us, best just to hang up your hat and go learn plumbing or something. So it's really important for us to negate like whether something is said in spite, because oftentimes, most times, that kind of stuff is just said in spite. So we need a proper support system. We need to surround ourselves with a yay sayer. And I don't mean someone that's going to be like, you can do it, because that's just completely dismissive. A yay sayer is like someone that's going to be almost like a drill sergeant to you. Someone that's going to meet you in the mud and be like, you keep going right now. Do you know? Like somebody that's going to meet you in the process and it's going to call out the best in you. That's the kind of yay sayer you want. You don't want this nice, well, it's okay kind of thing. You want someone that's going to really be on your side. Someone that's going to help keep you focused. Because again, you're going to be dealing with all that popping off in your mind. Am I good enough? Am I delusional? Do I really have what it takes? Like you may be so lost in that. You need someone that's going to go, wake up, get to work, again. That's a yay sayer. So that's what I mean. Like you don't necessarily even need the physical person, although that would be great. You can create that kind of person in your mind. So give it a voice, give it a cartoon, or ask someone. If you have someone that you do trust, ask them, can you hold me accountable? Can you kind of be hard on me? Can you keep me? Like any voice teacher would be happy to do this. Well, I don't know any, but most voice teachers would be happy to do this. But you got to tell them. Tell them that's what you need and that's what you want. Good. Number 2, go back to the basics. Now I say this because I say this especially if you have a combination of you just had the best performance of your life and are riding high on that, or if you just had the worst performance of your life. There's something about going back to the basics that insulates your mind from the expectations of others. It's like you've got a clear parameter, because you're never going to be satisfied. Just that's who we are as people. We're always going to want to reach out for more. We're always going to go, what's next? What's that? I know I did this, but I want to do this, So we've going back to that basic will keep us focused. It's the best way to keep yourself focused. So I really do say this because it's really difficult. Like artistic endeavors, artistic work is really, really difficult, especially if you've created like a standard. Like you now set a precedent for a type of work, but that, especially if you're a songwriter. So if you've just written like a really great song and there's a part of you that was like, I don't even know how that happened, then it's really hard to repeat it, right? So, but you've released your song, it's really great, and now everybody else expects your future work to be similar, right? So you need a plan for like creating a workflow that's going to keep you anchored, that's going to keep you engaged, and it's also going to isolate you from the madness of the world. So keep, like a repeatable way of working that isolates you from other people's expectations or your failures. So like, let's say you just had the worst performance you've ever had, and you're like, I want to give up. Well, you know that tomorrow you're just going to go right back to the studio and just keep working, because that's what you do. It's like, go back to those basics. When you can go back to the basics, then you can transcend the basics. Very good. Number 3, when you go back to the basics, you want to set the right expectations. So I just want to be really clear about this. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have days where you feel like you just want to give up on singing, and days where you just feel like you're just the most amazing singer that's ever lived. Just nobody else knows it. Or you're going to have days where all you're riding is the fumes of your dream. It's like where you don't have anything left, and you might feel that you're delusional, but even wanting to be a singer. So you need to keep yourself grounded with a daily routine, because your expectations, your daily expectations, will keep you from going insane. I'm just going to be very clear about that. They will keep you from going insane. When you're not sure about what to do next, your daily routine is going to save your day. It's going to save the day. And I stress this because I know a lot of singers, they'll like to binge watch like their favorite singers doing really incredible things. And they're out there chasing. They're like doing this instead of doing this, and working. They're out there chasing other people's sounds, other people's styles, and then they're confused as to why they don't feel connected to their voice. So if you set that daily routine, it'll keep you grounded. It'll also keep you in you. So you want to almost be like your daily routine becomes like a ritual for yourself. So I would just encourage you, try not to work in the middle of the day, because especially artists, like we're very aware of the busyness of life. It's like in the ether, we feel all the comings and goings of life in the middle of the day. It's like high fire, right? But in the beginning of the day, in the morning, it's quiet. And that tends to be where our mind is at. It's in a quieter place. So we can get a lot done when it's just quiet. I think that has to do with expectations. People aren't expecting you to like return 100 emails by like 10 a.m. And it's the same thing at nighttime. When people are off and they're asleep, it's like, great, now I can get some stuff done. But it kind of protects you from the chaos of the day and the chaos of, your own expectations or your own desires for yourself. And it confronts you with like one thing, gives you a point of focus. So if you're not sure what to do next, establish a daily routine and have it be so simple. Make sure it's going back to basics. So number 4, this one's my favorite. Celebrate the small things. Celebrate the small things. Like really, really quickly, I used to do gymnastics a lot, and I had the best yay-sayer coach that would just be so hard on me. But it's like he knew how to bring out the best in me. And during this competition, I fell off the beam like 4 times. So like I salute, I'm done, I finished, I just dismounted, and I like walk over and I'm like, I mean, just in this place. And I was like, I fell 4 times because my mind was focused on winning. You see what I'm saying? That's a problem. And he didn't miss the beat. He said, you finished with just the same energy. You finished, and you finished strong, because the whole time it's like he knew, like the whole time I just wanted to after the latest fall, just salute and walk off the mat. And he wouldn't let me. And he held me to that standard. So now I won't let me. Do you see what I'm saying? So celebrate every little thing. It keeps you engaged. It keeps you in the game because it keeps giving you that dopaminergic punch. So don't celebrate. Obviously celebrate when you win, but that's not the goal. And that's my problem with the beam routine, is my mind was about winning. And it was a disappointment because I knew it wasn't going to win at that point. So his mind was focused on making me the best gymnast I could become. And he knew that each meet was an opportunity for me to test that. To test that is not how many medals I could have in my trophy case at home. I had a lot. And that's why my brain was like, I gotta win. But it's like he brought me into, you gotta be the best gymnast you can be. Just like you gotta be the best singer you can be. It is a daily drudge. It's not a button you push. So you got to keep going every day, and you got to keep riding high on that thing that's going to feed you, which is like celebrating those little things. If you're working on a note and you just fail, fine, keep going. Be your interior naysayer. Keep it basic. Work on that specific note. Set it up. Like, give yourself a plan to get that note. Then when you get it, celebrate. Celebrate. Even if you're singing the song that the note is a part of, and you messed on so many different parts of the song, but you got that note, celebrate. Do you see what I'm saying? It will keep you engaged. It'll be like a game. You want to keep coming back to it. I'm getting excited. Sorry about that. So celebrate. Number 4, celebrate everything. Celebrate the small things. Number 5, be kind to yourself, but that doesn't mean you have to be nice. Okay? So I just want to reiterate. Be kind, but that doesn't mean you have to be nice. There's a big difference in that. So for example, like, let's say you just sang and you know full well that you messed up at least 10 spots. And then you get off the stage and someone comes up to you and is like, good job. It's like you immediately don't trust that person because they're nice. They're nice. But I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it when someone comes up to me and is like, oh, you've done it better. Like, you've done it better. It's like, that's kindness. That's honest. That's good. Good. Thank you. Thank you for being honest with me. But notice how it's not brutal. There's no brutality in it. There's no rudeness. They're not a naysayer. And I've had plenty of people be like, oh, I've seen you do that better, which is great. That's fine. I agree. And so I'm going to go back and work on that piece. So you want to be kind to yourself in your mind. So this is what this looks like, because I see this all the time. So let's pretend that you're watching an artist sing, and they're singing, and while they're singing, they're just like, they're like rejecting their voice moment to moment, like it's vile trash, like it's like the worst thing they've ever heard. So what their face is doing is they're living out, they're punishing themselves. Punish. Ugh, it's painful. It's painful for them, and it's painful to watch. It's literally painful for those that witness it because they're partaking in the same punishment with you. So kindness is criticism, but without the punishment. I'll say that again. Kindness is the criticism, but without the punishment. So for example, if I'm singing, and oftentimes when I sing, I video record myself because I don't want to be listening and singing at the same time. So I just go ahead and record it, and then I'm fully present to the singing. And then when I watch it back, then I'm in a critical, like a more teacher place in my mind. So when I'm watching it, I'll notice like when I push something too hard, and I used to cringe when I did that. Cringe, punishment. I used to do that. So it's like I wasn't very nice to myself. I wasn't very kind to myself. I wasn't even nice to myself, but that's beside the point. But I'd cringe, and then I would notice that, and then immediately go, okay, how can I do that better? I would pose it out loud to myself, and immediately my critical mind would go, try this instead. And so it became a beneficial thing instead of just punishment. So that's the difference. Be kind. So how can you do it better? Well, try this. Try working on your breath. Try setting it up differently. Or try it this way. Like your brain is going to tell you what is necessary and needed. But if it's just like, forget about it, you suck, hang this up, like you should be embarrassed, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's just punishment. And do not listen to that. Do not listen to that. And just keep going, okay, yeah, but the note. Or sometimes I would let my mind go ahead and then go, are you done? Can we work now? Are you done? And my mind is like, yeah, okay, I think I'm done. It's so interesting if you just engage it. So you can be kind and beneficially critical. Like, just under the note there, we need to try that again. Or instead of, so embarrassing. That was awful. Just punishment. That is not beneficial to you or to anybody else. Okay? So let me run through this again with you. Number 1 is surround yourself with yay sayers. 2, go back to the basics. 3, set the right expectations, like a daily routine. Number 4, celebrate the small things. And number 5, be kind to yourself. But you don't have to be nice. Okay? So that's 5 ways that you can keep singing, especially when you think you suck or you've actually gotten that feedback from other people. Yeah. I'll leave that there. If you've enjoyed today's video and you want to watch the entire live, because I spent about an hour going into each one of these specifically, and you want to just go a little deeper, then I invite you to click that join button below, become a member of this channel. As a member, you'll have exclusive access to all of our lives that we do every Monday and every Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And don't worry, if you can't catch us live, as a member, you'll have exclusive access to our members only area with over 100 hours worth of vocal training. I think we're almost at the 150 mark. Like we're getting up there. And I'm very proud. I've got myself a beautiful musical family that I feel fortunate enough that I get to see every week. So I invite you to become a part of my musical family. Again, just click that join button below. It's only $4.99 a month, US dollar, and your contribution helps to support our channel. That way we can continue to develop awesome content that's made just for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you next time. Bye!